is Vipa Podcast. Thank you for joining in our morning daily devotion.
This is the fourth in the series, The Journey Through Wilderness. We are looking at Exodus chapter 14, verse 15. Move on. Why let fear lock your feet? Fear is something so common. We have different kinds of fears, but the psychologists say there are only 5 basic fears, out of which almost all of our other so-called fears are manufactured. They are: 1. Extinction, the fear of ceasing to exist. 2. Mutilation, the fear of losing any part of our bodily structure. 3. Loss of autonomy, the fear of being immobilized, paralyzed, or restricted. 4. Separation, the fear of abandonment, rejection. And finally, ego death, the fear of humiliation and shame. If you analyze your fears, you can see they fit in one of these 5 fears. I believe for the people of Israel, when they saw the Egyptians following them, it was these 3 fears: extinction, mutilation, and loss of autonomy. My friend, the enemies following them was very real. The enemy's intention to kill the people of Israel was also real. They being very near to the Egyptians was also real. But then, why isn't the hand of God who delivered them out of Egypt not real? It is because they chose to see the closeness of the enemies and not the closeness of the Lord. You know, my friend, your fear depends upon where you want to look and what you want to believe. If you choose to look at the enemy and not the Lord, if you choose to believe that you will be overpowered by the enemy and not delivered by the Lord, you will certainly be afraid. No one can help you change the direction of your look unless you are willing. Look at these people. The Lord delivered them out of Egypt by His strong and mighty hand. Their families were delivered, and God was leading them through the wilderness. He has promised to lead them into the promised land. Isn't this experience enough to have faith and be strong? Instead, they chose to see the enemies following them and be afraid. This is what happens to you. You choose to look at the strength of the enemy following you rather than the strength of the Lord accompanying you. I believe your fears has nothing to do with the real threats, but it has to do with your unbelief. Is it not? You refuse to believe that the Lord in you is greater than the problems you are facing. Unbelief not only causes fear, but it also blinds you to the goodness of God. Look at their questions. Why did you bring us out here to die in the wilderness? Weren't there enough graves for us in Egypt? What have you done to us? Why did you make us leave Egypt? Didn't we tell you this would happen while we are still in Egypt? We said, leave us alone. Let us be slaves to the Egyptians. It is better to be a slave in Egypt than a corpse in the wilderness. Look at what all they said. The Lord's response was just absolutely simple. Listen to what He said. Tell them to get moving. In other words, the Lord is telling them, do not let the fear of enemies paralyze you. Let faith make your feet move. In Exodus chapter 14, verse 15, we read, Then the Lord said to Moses, Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on. My friend, all it requires is that first step of faith. Once you move, you will find the other steps are easy. Is it not? Let me place for you 2 lessons from the wilderness. Number 1, when you step out in faith, fear will step out of your life. Number 2, to move forward, what is important is not who is following you, but who is walking with you. Move on, my friend. Move on. Don't let fear lock your feet. The Lord in you is greater than any problem you are facing. Have a good day. God bless you.
For more details, please contact 916364252164 or email us to info@fibaonline.org.